As far as the graduation goes, when a student goes to graduate, they should have completed the attendance requirement, the curriculum books. They also have to complete a community project. And the community project is they have to go out and they have to do something in the community and lead it. So they can do it with some friends, they can do it by themselves, but it's something to better your community. And it can be anything. Right? They can use their imagination, but they need to come up with it. That's the third requirement. The fourth requirement is they need to deliver a presentation to their whole class before their leadership time is done. Usually it's done on graduation day, the day they graduate. They will present a presentation on our life skills. You get up front and do that. One other thing that we used to do that we're not doing, but I would recommend for a new school, is the presenting of a gray belt. I got that idea from Mr. Reed. If they're an underbelt, we present them a gray belt. We used to. And that way when they get up front to teach, it's not a red belt teaching or blue belt teaching, it's a gray belt. And that gives them a little bit more status and prestige. But in our system right now, we have so many black belts that we don't need a blue belt teaching. But if you're a young school, it might work out well. I am going to, one more thing with that. With the curriculum that we do, all leadership students are required to have the martial arts weapons. So the form that we teach for that class is a standard form, regardless of the cycle we're in. We have 4 cycles. We do a 3-month cycle. So they can have an open hand cycle for a form. They can have a kama, a bow staff, a nunchuck, and it's the same form. It doesn't change. So the genius behind that is you're not teaching a whole new pattern, it's the same pattern. And that's what they're teaching each other for the triangulation part of the class. Now the pipeline brings kids into our next one, which is our instructor training program. In our instructor training program, our AIT we call it, Academy Instructor Training, we have people that can't teach yet because of their age. If they're 13, we don't put them on the mat. We only put them on the mat if they're 14. And for payment purposes, for payroll purposes, we want to make sure they're 14 so they can get paid. We don't want to take advantage of them and have them teach or donate their time if they're not getting paid. Something we just don't do. But when they get into the instructor training, our instructor training takes place 1 time a week. It's on Thursday nights, and then we have some weekend training sessions as we go along throughout the year. But the instructor training process is when we get them in there, we're trying to train them on what they need to know to get through to help us teach classes. We want to get them up to speed as fast as we can because it is definitely a level up. So in the instructor training, what are some of the things that we do? 1, we want them to know how to teach an orientation. Heard it said numerous times, what's the most important class to teach? The first class. And if you can't have them teach the first class, they probably shouldn't be teaching the rest of the classes. So we have an orientation script, an actual script that we use that they have to memorize and be able to perform in the training. Once they show us that they're capable of leading the orientation, great, they can get out there and teach orientations. And it's part of their requirements to advance as an instructor. Another thing that they're required to do is know our 40 points of observation. Again, a thing we got from Mr. Horton. And there's 4 parts of that, and each part has 10 parts. So I'm not going to go run through them, but there's 40 points that they have to learn to help them with teaching. And it's all the top things that we felt were necessary to be an instructor at our school. So we'll cover those in detail. But they have to memorize the 40 points. They have to memorize our student creed and definitely know that. They have to know our purpose statement. We go through everything. So for them to be instructors, the memorization of everything and the communication needs to be top notch. Once they are able to complete the first requirements, they will test for a collar ranking system. So we have our belt ranking system, which shows their skill level, their experience level, their knowledge level. But we also have a collar ranking system that shows their communication level. What level of communicator are they? So coming into our instructor training, the collar is a white collar, no collar. All right, they're just starting out. They can still instruct if they're of age, and we deem them capable of doing it, but they haven't earned a collar yet. Once they have completed about 6 months to 8 months of training, they are capable of testing for a blue braid on their collar. That says they are the next level up as instructor. So when they're walking through the classroom and parents see them, they know that person has achieved instructorship of some sort. And the blue braid, pretty simple. We have simple requirements. We want them to be able to achieve those requirements pretty easily. And it's memorizing the 40 points. It's knowing our purpose statements, knowing our student creed, knowing the basic curriculum, and knowing half of the orientation script. They can learn half of it, great. In most cases, our people going to Blue Braid will learn the whole orientation script, a whole introduction script. And that's important for us. That's one of the main points. The next step up is a blue collar, a full blue collar. So the Blue Braid, we have someone that just sews them on. We have a person who embroiders and does some work, they sew them on. A blue collar, we can't always find the uniform. So if we can't find the uniform, we will get someone to redo the uniform, to put a blue collar in it. So it's a full blue collar. That's the next level up. And the requirements are higher at that point. The next level up was a blue black collar, and then black collar. Black collar would be chief instructor, and we have 3 of those in our school, not including myself. So it takes a while. The braid, 6-8 months. The blue collar, another 6-8 months. Blue black, usually a year, and then black another year. So it takes a while to complete the process. As they go through the process, they will get a pay increase each time they reach a different collar. So we make sure we have that built in. We want them to get pay increases as we go up and up and up and up. Make sure I'm not missing anything here, folks.